Here's the thing with people that try to be friends with everybody. It's like, I get it. It might be cool, you've got a lot of friends, but like, what are you really doing though? What's the benefit? It means that you trying to keep up with all these different personalities, it really is gonna take a toll on your mental health. Not only that, you're gonna lose yourself in the process. You staying alone is better than being surrounded by fake people or people that just don't match your vibe. Isn't that so much better? I would personally pick that. I would rather be alone than be surrounded by people who just drain my energy. Some people want to be friends with a lot of people because they just don't want to feel like they're alone. But here's the thing, being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. Trying to seek validation from all these other people will make you lose your self-esteem, because true self-esteem comes from within, and you shouldn't feel the need to get it from other people. You might attract all kinds of people that aren't good for you, people that do not match your energy, but the beauty of this is knowing who to pick. You see, you can attract whoever, but it's up to you to accept whoever. Hey everyone, it's Noor and welcome back to my channel. So here's what we're going to be discussing today. If you're a friend of everybody, you're an enemy to yourself. So sometimes in your life, you may come across people who do not share the same ethics of you, the same principles, the same values. They just don't match your vibe. And you may feel the need to shrink yourself, shrink your personality, shrink what you stand for, just to allow that friendship or connection to happen. You see, this is extremely toxic because you are indirectly teaching yourself that it's okay, to step on your own personality, step on your own character just for other people. And what does this do? It triggers you to become a people pleaser. You start prioritizing other people's comfort rather than your own. And this is where we draw the line, because this is not okay. You should never feel the need to shrink yourself, to dim your light for nobody. You see, I shouldn't feel the need to change anything about myself just to fit for the person that is in front of me, because that is not a genuine life. You are literally playing a character, and I'm not willing to play any character but my own. I want to be myself. You have to be authentic and natural. Otherwise, what's really the point? Do you really want to live a life that is not yours? Do you really want to act like somebody that is not you? Imagine being someone that you're not. That is probably one of the worst things you can do. You're literally damaging yourself. Here's the thing with people that try to be friends with everybody. It's like, I get it. It might be cool, you've got a lot of friends, but like, what are you really doing though? What's the benefit? I mean, unless you're doing business with all of them and all of them are bringing you value, then I don't see the point in having 50 friends. Why? And I'm talking about close friends. I'm not talking about a friend that you see once in a while. No, I'm talking about like close people. Like, yeah, he's my friend, he's my buddy, like that. You see, when I come across these people that have so many friends, I kind of like, it makes me wonder. Because you're telling me that you can vibe with 50 different personalities, and your personality can fit with each of them, unless you're shrinking a little bit of yourself. Have you ever heard of the saying that says, the more you have friends, the faker you are? It kind of makes me wonder. Yes. And I'm not talking about like evil fakeness. I'm talking about fakeness in a way where it's like you're not being your full self. Don't convince me that you can literally be your full authentic self with 50 different personalities. Like, that just isn't realistic, and it's okay. Here's the thing. I personally believe that a person who has three close people, or one even, who is focusing on the quality of the other person instead of the quantity of how many people he hangs out with, this person is much more happy in his life, and this person is much more at peace and is satisfied within. And that is because they are choosing people who bring them value. They're not choosing people just to choose them and just, for the number and for the sake of it. Oh yeah, I have many friends. Like, what are you really getting out of it? Nothing. You're not getting anything, but you're destroying your own character and you're destroying your own personality. Now, here's the thing. You're literally hearing me say friends, because when you say friends is somebody that is literally after family. Like, it's somebody who, for example, with me, like my close friend, I consider her like my sister. This is what I mean by friend. I'm not talking about acquaintances. I'm not talking about people you know in the same industry. I'm talking about people who are genuinely close to you on a deeper level. You see, I think it's very good to make connections when it comes down to like the industry you're in, to network with other people, to be friendly with everyone. But I'm talking about having like 20 or 50 different close friends. Like, don't try to convince me that you can connect deeply with 20 different personalities. Do not convince me, because that's just unrealistic. And I've seen it happen in front of me. Every time I would see a person who has so many friends, they actually ended up being fake with me, and they had like many bad qualities that I got to find out later on. That's what they're used to. They're not used to being genuine. And again, I will repeat, because I don't want people to kind of mix between acquaintances and friends. They're not the same. You know, people you network with, people who you have a business connection with, is so different than a friend. So for me personally, I know a lot of people in my industry. I'm in the modeling industry, I'm in the media industry, I'm in the social media. So of course I know a lot of people, and of course I value these people so much. But here's the thing, am I close with all of them? No, because how can I be close to so many people? I cannot, because each person has a different personality. And when you get to know somebody on a deeper level, you're gonna find out that you may not necessarily share the same values, principles. Now, here's the thing. If, let's say, I meet an acquaintance and I become close friend with them because I actually realize that, yeah, we do share the same values and ethics, then I don't mind. That's something else. But when I say, if you're a friend of everybody, you're an enemy to yourself, it means that you trying to keep up with all these different personalities, it really is gonna take a toll on your mental health. Not only that, you're gonna lose yourself in the process. Also, again, we go back to the people pleasing. Trying to seek validation from all these other people will make you lose your self-esteem, because true self-esteem comes from within, and you shouldn't feel the need to get it from other people, or you feel the need to make them your friends just to feel like, yeah, I'm needed, I'm wanted, I'm good enough. No. That shouldn't be the case ever, because you're always going to end up disappointed if you are seeking that validation from the outside world. You need to seek that validation from within, from God. This is the only way you'll end up not disappointed, because what people want doesn't mean that it's good for you. People wanting something for you doesn't mean it's the right thing for you. It doesn't mean it's good for you. Always keep that in mind. I would give you guys an example of me. I remember, like, back in high school, I feel like I was at this stage where, you know, we would like hang out in these big groups. You know how high school is. It'll be, you know, like fun times, whatever. But then you realize that in that group, they all speak behind each other's back. Always. And it made me think, I'm like, wow. Because I remember I was new to this school and I got introduced to this big group and I didn't know anyone. And then one person would come and tell me something about their best friend. Or one person would speak about other people that he hangs out with. And it made me think, like, is this really what I want? I remember it was like a really confusing time for me, because I was like, is this like what really big groups are for? And it's true, think about it. That's why I said, because it's just not realistic for your personality to fit exactly with 20 different personalities you're trying to interact with. Like, it's just not possible. When that stage ended, I remember I found one person that I just clicked the most with, and now it's been 5 years and we're still friends, and I don't speak to any of the other people that I just told you guys about. I just don't, because they just don't fit my personality. We don't click, we don't have the same mentality, we don't have the same views. It's like, what's the point? And you know, our vibe is just different. And now I literally have like 2 close friends. That's it. I don't need more. I just realized my life became so much more at peace. I don't ever feel the need to shrink myself for these people, because I feel heard and I feel wanted, and I feel like they genuinely get me on a deeper level, and that's what matters. If you're somebody that is constantly trying to be friends with so many people, or like is in a group and you really can't see yourself fitting in, then I think staying alone is better. You staying alone is better than being surrounded by fake people or people that just don't match your vibe. Isn't that so much better? I would personally pick that. I would rather be alone than be surrounded by people who just drain my energy. Some people want to be friends with a lot of people because they just don't want to feel like they're alone. But here's the thing, being alone doesn't mean you're lonely. You can still have God, and this is something that is very important to notice. Have God. If you have God and you have yourself, and of course, this can only happen if you genuinely came to accepting who you are fully, to loving who you are, to appreciating who you are, it's gonna happen. Otherwise, you're gonna feel like, why would I want to spend time alone? Or why would I want to distance myself from other people, you know, if I'm just gonna feel alone? But that's not the case. It's only gonna be the case if you're insecure with yourself, if you haven't healed completely from past traumas, if you didn't accept who you are, and if you don't really like your own company. That's the only way it's gonna happen. So I think the best thing you can do for yourself is seek God and try to plant your garden, work so hard on yourself, and then the right people will come eventually. And the beauty of this is that after you work so hard on yourself, I think that it's very important to start setting boundaries. I mean, you might attract all kinds of people that aren't good for you, people that do not match your energy. But the beauty of this is knowing who to pick. You see, you can attract whoever, but it's up to you to accept whoever. So observe whoever's trying to come into your life and then place them where they belong, whether in your life or deciding to keep them out. Because here's the catch. You need to always ask yourself, whenever you meet somebody, are these people bringing me value? Any sort of value? Or are they just wasting my time? You need to also ask yourself, how do I feel when I'm around that person? Because feelings and energies never lie, I'm telling you. If you have this gut feeling about somebody, then it's probably right, I'm telling you. So listen to how you feel. If you feel uncomfortable, if you feel like you can't be your full self, then they're not for you. They're not your people. And thirdly, do these people respect you? Even if you guys were from different countries, do they try to make a joke out of you? Do they try to be narcissistic towards you? Or do they actually respect you? So these are very important. These are important questions you need to ask yourself all the time whenever you're trying to decide whether you want to be friends with somebody or not. Also, by the way, I want to add on, ask yourself, do you feel safe? Do you feel heard? Do you feel like you are progressing with these people? Do you feel like they're elevating you? Do they bring in positive energies? I mean, look, the list goes on. There are so many questions you need to ask yourself, but these are kind of like the main ones. Because honestly, from my experience, when I tried to be friends with people who I kind of convinced myself they were good, just because, for example, you know, we were from the same background, same nationality, same everything. Literally, you can't believe, my gut feeling was telling me there's just something off. I just never really felt like I could be my full self. There would always be meaningless talk in between of the silence. You see, this is also very important. A lot of times when there's an awkward vibe or there's a weird vibe or you know, you're not really connecting with that person, then sometimes you feel the need to say anything just to say it, just for it to not be awkward. And that is where I always try to observe myself. If I'm having that with somebody, it means they're not good for me. They're not for me. But I have a friend. We share a lot of differences, but we just have that connection. I feel so comfortable around her, and I feel like I'm heard. You know, I feel like I can be my full self, and this is what matters. So yeah, guys, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys learned something new. Again, listen, if you're a friend of everybody, you're an enemy to yourself. This is fact. So always prioritize yourself. Don't try to shrink in your personality. Never try to dim your light for anybody, because remember, if they were your people, you wouldn't feel the need to dim your light. You're a star and you need to be shining.